Howdy. It's day 3 today of the Crucible Committed of the year 2024. Just leaving work now. I'm thinking about ambition as well as the unorthodox approach to life. And I just had this really profound realization sitting in the parking lot waiting for my car to warm up, because yes, it does get a little cold in California. Maybe I'm going soft, but that's been my experience. Nonetheless, I was sitting there thinking, most people get up, go to work, come home, and live their life. Me, I've always had trouble never being content with that, and that isn't necessarily trouble, but it certainly made it challenging to push against the tide of what everyone else is doing, what society is doing. And so I actually envy, in some ways, the person who just wakes up, maybe goes to the gym, goes to work, comes home, that's it. But I feel that I was meant for something greater. And for the longest time, as I've spoken about, that filmmaking, that production company has been that thing. And I still feel like there's a piece there for that. And at the moment, as I mentioned in my last video, I know what I want to do, but the how remains elusive given my current resources and experience level, and as well as information. I just don't know what I don't know, right? And so the more immediate objective is money, because without money it makes it really challenging to do all the other things. Because not only do I want to live a life of purpose and fulfillment and help others, because I actually enjoy that, and hopefully you find these videos helpful, but I also need to be making money to support myself and to live a life of abundance, which I feel I'm more than entitled to, given that I work for it. And so create enough value to be worthy of that. But I was thinking today, I was like, okay, well, what do I do, right? And I've thought about that a lot, that question, what do I do lately? What do I do? And I've searched up reasons why it might be so difficult to make decisions. And I started reading this great article by Paul Graham called How to Do Great Work. Highly recommend you check it out. And one of the things he talks about is ambition, and how if you want to do great work, there's a criteria that has to be met. And if I recall correctly, it's being genuinely curious about a thing, having a natural aptitude for that thing. And I don't remember the third one, but I believe it's something along the lines of progressing or getting to the frontier of knowledge in respect to that pursuit, right? And one of the things he started talking about was ambition, and how sometimes ambition is born out of an interest. So let's say you really enjoy kite surfing, you start doing it and you're like, wow, this is my thing. And then you then develop or blossom an ambition to become whatever, the best kite surfer in the world. On the other hand, some people have ambition but don't know what to pour it into. And so it becomes a question of, what do I pursue? And that for me has been the case, because I have multiple interests. And so oftentimes I get overwhelmed by the abundance of ideas and things that I can pursue. And so putting it under the microscope of what is my current intent or pursuit, and that happens to be at the moment money, right? That seems very forefront in my brain of a thing I want to alleviate for myself. And so trying to figure that out. It's challenging, no doubt about it. And I'm actually looking, I'm in the middle of a intersection right now, which is also challenging. The anxiety of somebody turning. What do I do? I'm stuck here now. It is what it is. So yeah, and really thinking through that, I'm going to be giving it some more thought. And it's not so much of making maybe a list of things, but really thinking about, okay, what is the thing that I want to build right now, and to back up for a second and recap, I did 5 more resumes this morning, so we're at 15 resumes the last 3 days at 5 a day. I've been getting up at 5 a.m. It takes me about an hour and a half to do 15 of them. So, not 15, to do 5 of them. So, did the 5. One requires this like almost 40-minute assessment thing, which is a real pain in the ass. So I have to attend to that at a time where I'm more mentally acute and aware, because I can tell. And actually, somebody told me today, "Hey, you look really tired." So damn, I feel really tired. So I'm gonna have to adjust my sleep schedule, which makes it a little more challenging, because I went to bed last night at 9 p.m. So maybe due to the fact that I've been sick the last like almost 2 weeks, and I've been really needing more rest. I really want to continue to persevere and finish out the rest of this work week, the next 2 days, doing the 5 in the morning. And then the weekend, I may extend the sleep and may alter it a little bit, which is, to stop right there for a second, is why commitment is so important, to be flexible in your approach to things at times, especially when you're early on in your journey. So right now, I almost feel guilty being like, well, I want a production company, but now I want to do this. And it's like, well, I'm learning. Yeah, I would love to have a production company and do that thing, but right now, I'm really interested in figuring out this money thing. I'm really curious about that. So I might be pivoting in that direction for a while, and then come roundabout to the other thing. And it's a process of discovery. One of the things I was thinking about earlier was, a lot of the people I admire, or a good number of them, have very polished content, like well-edited videos, scripted videos. Like, all of their stuff is just pristine. It's immaculate, without a blemish. And when I think of doing that for myself, it gives me anxiety, because I'm like, how the fuck, it's gonna take me forever to produce anything. Like, I'm gonna be sitting there trying to figure out, what about this, and I hope this is more real, because this is what I'm going through right now, and this is my intention behind this video process, is to share what I'm learning. And part of that is being open to not having all the answers, and sharing the questions that I've been faced with by myself. And what I will say is, while I have many interests, I'm learning to focus on one thing at a time, in the micro sense especially. Like, if I were to go grab a glass of water, but along the way I pick up my phone and get distracted, right? That then veers me off course. So I've been diligent lately of being like, hey, remember what we're going after. We're going for the water, and reeling myself back in. So when it comes to ambition, especially kind of this unbridled ambition I have right now, it wants a vessel to fill. But I have to be conscious of where that energy goes, because I do want to be something, whether it's personal training, coaching of some sort, whatever the vessel is. I want it to be something I'm interested in, have an aptitude for, and that I'm really curious about learning more about, and wanting to delve deeper into. So some thoughts that have crossed my mind today. Everything else will continue as planned. I haven't hit the gym this week yet, but Friday is my day off, and I will then be adding that back into the schedule, and altering and tweaking my schedule as necessary to fit the applications as well as the gym. And it really comes down to volume. That's what I'm learning, right? Like, I'm reading $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozi. That's another update. That's a book I've been feeling really called to read lately, especially as it pertains to money. And so I was hovering back and forth between $100 Million Offers and the essay by Paul Graham. And he talked about sales and it being a numbers game. And someone else told me that today. Every no gets you closer to a yes. My coworker who used to do door-to-door sales. And so when it comes to jobs, it's just volume. When it comes to women and meeting and getting, and not just with women, but people in general getting better at that, it's volume. And I met 2 new people yesterday. I don't know if I met anybody today, but it's cool because when you meet somebody new, a new reality then becomes open to you, a reality with that person. I don't mean it necessarily in an intimate relationship, but when you're now talking and conversing with that person and learning from that person and sharing things and teaching with that person. So world building is probably what I'm most interested in right now, and exploring the world of making money is right now very top of mind. So day 3 is down. I figured I'd do the video now before I get even more sleepy. I'm gonna bolt myself back to life a little bit with a cold shower later and continue moving forward. See you in the next one. Peace.